Political parties in Nigeria have conducted their primaries, particularly the National Assembly primaries. The All Progressive Congress in Adamawa State conducted her primaries, and that didn't augur well with some members of the party, owing to the fact that they said it was characterized by some irregularities and anomalies. However, according to some members of the party, the hierarchy of the party has opted for consensus, and those who consented for that appreciated the hierarchy of the All Progressive Congress in Adamawa State. But joining me now to talk some more as regard to the process and the outcome of the primaries is the Publicity Secretary, Dr. Victor DOGO, and he joins me now to further the conversation. Doctor, it's a pleasure to have you in Political Affairs.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Yes. And I want to say well done for the job. You know, you have been restless for these few hours, for the past few days, I presume.
Yes, you're quite right, because it has been a cycle, and I remember, I just remember today's your birthday.
Oh, sure.
So it's a good one, I guess.
Indeed.
How old are you?
Well,
Anyway, you will never say that.
I appreciate I'm a year older today.
All right, so like I said, we've gone into another election cycle, and quite interesting is the kind of political parties that have surfaced all of a sudden, trying to stand on the way to stopping us. And I just feel it's really sad that I don't think there's any political party that can stop us right now.
Let's get this right,
Yes.
Doctor, for the sake of those following the conversation now. You say it's a kind of political party that has surfaced to
Yes.
stop you.
Yes.
What political parties are you referring to? And stop whom by the virtue of your submissions?
Well, I think if I should go straight to the point, I'm talking about political parties that have been moving around like clubs trying to sign in young players, and all of a sudden the players move out of the club. You know, I'm talking about the ADC in particular.
No, but we're not talking about ADC. We're talking about
these are the clubs that we're talking about.
We're talking about the exclusive primaries organized by the All Progressive Congress across board.
Now you're trying to talk about our internal party issues.
That's correct.
All right, if that's what you really want to talk about, let's go straight to what exactly is happening. We are presently amongst ourselves making use of the two mechanisms whereby candidates emerge from aspirants to those that will be on the platform. And you have the consensus and the direct primary. And you must understand that when we say consensus, it doesn't mean that it's a day's job, that one particular day someone will just come out and declare. It is a process that takes place by the conversation that goes on between them, that's the aspirants,
you know,
and also the leadership. You understand? Now, this started quite a long time ago. The governor of Adamawa State, Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, has been, you know, dialoguing and trying to make them understand the cumbersome nature of having a direct primary. But along the line, some felt, okay, they should go into direct primaries. And of course, we prepared, and I must say, our national body prepared and said everyone that wants to go into direct primaries should go in. And that's exactly what we have been doing.
All right, so there were options, you know. He that wants to go for direct primaries should go for, and he that wants to go for consensus. Now, is it generally the state, you know, because the primaries cut across the geopolitical zones we have in Adamawa State, northern zone, central zone, and the southern zone. So is it all the southern zone and all the northern zone as well as the central zone went for consensus?
It's more or less, you see, the point here is this: people must understand what consensus is.
Yes,
and
especially, that's why I want you to take your time to
especially
explain.
the aspirants.
Yeah.
You see, when you're being asked to embark on the journey of consensus, it is like a political game that would either carry you along even if you lose out. It's a political discussion whereby you sit with the other opponents and then you talk to them. Okay, I am deficient in such areas with this or that, and the other person brings out his own deficiency, and then you guys look at it and look at the strengths, and then you come up with an agreement. Okay, you will move in for it, and I will back you up. You see, that's the beauty of consensus.
So there's no losing out completely.
There's no losing out in consensus. The danger of direct primaries is that you feel hurt at the end of the day, because doing a consensus pattern, you are able to dialogue and you are able to understand yourselves and come to certain parameters, agree to on certain parameters that will lead you into the final contest. And that means no one will be left behind. Like what Governor Amadu Umar of Entry has always said, no one. And up to date, let me even shock you people. Even as I speak, those that think they have lost in the primaries must understand one thing. No one, and I'm repeating, APC Adamawa State is large enough for all of us. It is a party affair. And you should understand that this basic principle and understanding that we have is that anyone who loses out, initially we wanted it to be through the consensus droppings and agreement, but even those that have gone into the primaries, and that's why I'm calling out that everyone should understand one thing. We all cannot be on the platform, but if at the end of the day, one of us comes on the platform, anyone that is not on that platform should rally around the others. We will work together.
I'm glad that you said those who felt they have lost out of the consensus can be compensated, and that is a kind of a consolidation. They consolidate the victory of the candidates, and as well as the compensation. But on the other hand, again, we saw filters, on social media. We saw footage where some of these centers, that are designated as polling unit were actually, agog by party carrying members of the APC, and they were there purposely to cast their vote to their preferred aspirant that will become the candidate of the party in that particular sphere, which means that they came with the mindset of direct primaries. And unfortunately, quite a number of them became disappointed because they say they can't even find the officials that could preside over the elections.
I beg to disagree because I personally, as the publicity secretary, received the national committee that came all the way from Abuja, of course, to conduct and to monitor and to ensure that the return in these particular National Assembly primaries. And I was personally involved by going around to ensure that it's not hearsay.
Yes, I understand you were at Mayo Farang.
You can imagine. Mayo Farang, I was in Depsa, I was in Man, I was virtually everywhere you can mention. But I was in Jada, I was in Mayo Belwa. To be very sincere, I took my time to go out there to ensure that these things and these promises that we have made are fulfilled. So you see, natural that I did say, it's natural for you to see people to contend or try to be a little bit on the other side when it comes to the fact that probably it wasn't as they expected. It will never always be as you expect, but it is a process, a continuous one. We tend to improve daily. We look at where we've had lapses and then we improve on those lapses and we try to make it better. So each day that goes by, we improve on what we have seen. Like I did say the other day, you see, direct primaries is one thing that is very, very cumbersome.
Indeed.
And that is one thing that from the onset, we always try to, stimulate amongst them that process of consensus. Consensus starts from the first day you pick up your ticket. That point in time is when you have the opportunity to discuss with the other person. And we as a party consider that consensus approach as much more, the most, and in short, the best way from the beginning. And we also appreciate the direct primaries. But the point is this: you must understand that when there's a primary, definitely one person would emerge.
One person would emerge. All right. Before we go on break, I needed to say this: was there a mixture of both consensus and direct primaries yesterday?
I must admit that we in the process, because not all did go through to the end. Some applied consensus by stepping down. That's consensus. Consenting to drop for one person or the other. That's a consensus approach towards it. But it's just that we did not have a conclusive approach that everyone did. And that was why we had already started from the first day to say that by the end of each dialogue, if they don't come to a final conclusion, we'll go into the direct primaries, and that's exactly why we did that.
All right, if they don't come to the final conclusion, all right. Now, I needed to point out this, we'll take a breather. Southern Senatorial Zone, of course, had expressed, there are one or two aspirants who expressed displeasure as regard to the role officials of the All Progressive Congress Adamawa State played, in ensuring that one person seemed to have been given a preferential treatment, and that person was the one who took the day, as in he won the primaries, as a matter of fact, becoming the sole candidate for that very senatorial zone, particularly when it comes to House of Representatives. And the aspirants now, who alongside participated in the primaries, weren't happy at all, and they are expressing their grievances, their vexations. I can mention names like Honorable Vratin Zonzo.
I really want to talk about
yes, I needed to catch up breath, and then we'll be back and talk some more. But when we return, I will need you also, for the sake of those following the conversation and watching it live on our Facebook page, to explain and further expatiate what really transpired, and at the end of it, perhaps there could be a light at the end of the tunnel. All right, you're watching Political Affairs on Karma TV. We'll take a short break. I'll be back in a moment. Join us again. Glad to know you're still there. If you have just joined us, you're watching Political Affairs on Karma TV. And for those who have joined the conversation on Facebook page, I need to send your comments, suggestions, questions to the comment section, and Dr. Victor DOGO will respond to you swiftly. Of course, he's the Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress at Adamawa State. Now, before the break, I asked you this very critical question concerning those who felt disenfranchised and those who felt sidelined. Because there are two sides of the story. There are those who felt they were not given the chance to cast their vote to their preferred aspirant, while there are those aspirants who felt sidelined because a particular politician, was given a kind of a preferential treatment and he took the day.
Well,
Honorable Vranti Zonzo, former executive chairman, Lamurde local government, and of course, with a national appointment, former Chad Basin, deputy director had been so vehement.
let me just come out clean on this issue. Rati is my friend. We are very close. And if for any reason he feels bad about what has happened, he must understand that we esteem him highly. I esteem Vrati highly and I love him as a friend. And I'm calling out to him that he should not allow whatever form of distraction that is taking place at this moment. Because at every point in time, it is God that finally gives. That he did not win this time does not mean that tomorrow he will not win. So what I'm trying to say is that not only Vrati, every other aspirant must understand that this is an internal family election. And one must emerge. It is possible as a family we decide and say, okay, after everything, you understand.
That's if the game was played according to the rules.
No, that's what I'm saying, that naturally, no matter how we played it, someone will always be offended. It's natural in a contest. So what's the next thing? You don't scratch wounds, you heal. We have passed that stage of, crying after we spilled our milk. Where we are now is the healing time, a process whereby we come to an understanding. Like I did say, there is always a place. There is always a place. We must all not be elected officers. We can be appointed officers at the end of the day. There is a place that everyone fits. And I'm assuring you, every one of them should understand it is high time to allow the party system to take care of everyone. don't ever feel offended. Just allow your other aspirant that has taken the day, that has won the election, to move on, to represent us, and then we come from behind and fit into other offices and other places and other aspects of support for the party, so that at the end of the day, no one will be left out.
Dr. Dogo, it is easier said than done.
No, it's not the issue of easier said than done. It is not trying to put, you see, let me say this.
No, I want to say something first of all. Allow me please to answer this question.
Okay.
You know, you're not in their shoes.
I've been there before. I contested House of Reps some years ago.
I'm in the picture.
And at the end of the day, I lost.
But you're not in Vrati's shoe. And you may not really, understand the intent of his heart and the vexation inherent.
It is not proper for us to begin to consider how a man feels after an episode. What we should consider is, what is this next step? What can happen? How do we abridge what has the loss? And now, what's the next step to carrying everyone along? You see, you don't stay at a place, you keep moving.
But perhaps if the right thing was done, maybe all
why do you keep insisting on the right thing or the wrong
because
thing? It was done.
You earlier say it's either consensus or direct primary.
Yes.
Was there a consensus?
We started by allowing them to go through the process of the consensus.
Okay.
And after that, we concluded that because they were not, that it wasn't possible for all of them to concur. It was necessary to go into the primaries. And in going into the primaries, one person has won.
Oh, sure.
And the man that has won, whether we like it or not, is a member of the APC family. And as a member of the APC family, we should not castigate or try to throw stones. Instead, we should try to build, you understand, and win, and then have a place. You see, politics is not the way people see it too. Politics is not one game that because somebody beats you in it or someone has gone ahead, then you start throwing stones. That is the house you are in. I keep telling people, it's not running away. It is aligning and strategically positioning yourself in the system and being part of the win.
All right. We also had that in some of the polling units, there were chaos. It was a bit chaotic to the extent that gunshots were heard.
Where? Which local? Where?
Gombe. Yes.
Gunshots?
Yeah, Gombe to be precise. I think trying to disperse.
No, I don't. Probably I've not yet gotten that report because I got that report.
You need to verify.
No. I'm the publicity secretary of APC.
You need to verify.
I am the publicity secretary of APC. And if there was any report of such a nature, it should have reached my desk. And I can assure you.
Well, probably the gunshot was to disperse the crowd or to suppress the crowd.
That is wrong. That is fake news. Because as I speak to you right now, I'm in that position to get the information. If it didn't reach me, then probably it's
all right. So what is your party doing now to pacify those who felt offended, who felt shortchanged?
Don't use that word, such thing, because it is a process. Once a process is activated, a winner must emerge. And as we speak,
of course there is a winner.
Every process has been
some
set.
of these aspirants felt that is their feeling.
We have a process, the internal mechanism.
But what is your party doing? What's your party doing now to bring them together?
It's not now. It's not now that we are doing it. Before we even started the process, we had already brought out a calendar. A schedule, and that schedule and the pattern in which we're going to go through the primaries, go through the consensus attempt, go to the primaries, and then allow the people to now make their appeals, and understanding will now be reached, and then we'll come to a flow of a very smooth flow that will take us into election. And I'm assuring you that we are not leaving anyone. As I'm speaking right now, no matter how anyone feels about what has happened, we are together on this. We are together in this, and we're going to work through it.
Now, in the next few days, another section of the primaries will hold. Yes. That is the
gubernatorial and presidential.
What should the Nigerians be expecting?
A better version of what we have been experiencing. You see, it's a process. we keep improving. If there were lapses anywhere, we improve it in the next one. The next one becomes better and it gets better. So as we're speaking right now, we're trying to make sure that we make it even much more better. And like I told you, direct primaries. You know, when people were talking about direct primaries, I was telling them, I said, you won't understand. It is cumbersome. I've not been sleeping. Let me tell you, sir.
I know.
Monitoring this process, and everyone keeps talking about, hey, you should have come to my ward. You should have come to my ward. It is not easy.
All right. If direct primary is cumbersome, which of course it is, are we likely to see a consensus come into play for the governorship?
The truth is that whether you like it or not, we will keep pressing and pushing. Consensus is a continuum. It's something that you keep every day. A consensus can be reached within 24 hours. You understand? Yeah. Because it's a family movement. Because it's not an election that is probably amongst interfacing with other political parties. So within just 2 hours, it could be reached. So what I'm trying to say, but the particular process of direct primaries must be fixed. That's the point. It must be fixed, and it has been fixed. So whether they like it or not, House of Assembly, we have fixed for direct primaries.
Okay.
Gubernatorial, we have fixed direct primaries. There's nobody that will stop it. Only one thing, if they agree amongst themselves.
And if they do not agree amongst themselves,
they will go to the polls. They will go to the polls. So, and again, go and get yourself ready and go to the polls. Stop crying. But remember, whoever emerges, calm down. Don't throw stones.
Yeah.
Rally round. Let's work together. Always remember, there is a place for everyone in a political system. How you relate, your body language, your reaction and your actions matters, even if you lose or you win.
That's right.
So we should have that.
Now, finally, this is on the flip side anyway. There is these rumors making the rounds that most of the persons that clinched this victory, were actually those of the PDP that were infused into the APC. That those who have been in the APC before now, a lot of them couldn't, emerge victorious.
You see, these are stories. These are, what someone would say under the tree. You sit down and you gist, and then you take, or in the beer parlor, we take our beer and then we gist. This is not the real thing. Politics is beyond such dialogue. Politics is permutation. What will happen if this happens this way? So forget about all these stories you're hearing.
All right, let's assume it never happened.
It's a family affair. We will walk through it together. And all those that don't feel aggrieved, just understand that we have a place for everyone.
All right, there's no better way to end the conversation than now. Dr. Victor DOGO, Publicity Secretary, APC. We'll get to more of this conversation after the gubernatorial primaries, and for sure, I'll have you in the studio.
And I'll be here, God willing.
Thank you very much, as usual.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure is mine. All right, that's our show today, viewers. Thank you so very much for being with us from start to finish. Let's do this again, same time, same station, as we come with a fresh edition of the program. Until then, stay safe. My name is Chris Jacobs. God bless Nigeria.